Brandon has a wealth of knowledge when it comes to finances and personal planning and offers a wide variety of services, whether it be monthly budgeting, saving for a purchase of a home, or retirement planning. Aside from his professional life, in his free time, Brandon's hobbies and interests include playing team sports, bowling, and spending time with his wife and young family. Brandon's an avid basketball fan and also enjoys golfing. Something you may not know about Brandon is that he loves bowling and was a national champion in 2018 for 5-pin bowling. So now let's hear from Brandon about his business so that we can send some referrals his way.
Awesome. Thank you, Ishpreet, for the introduction here. I'm going to share my screen and we'll go through some of the major benefits that come with working with an advisor. Okay. So for the families and guests that are here, a little bit of an introduction to us. So a little bit of an updated picture from us. So we are a family of 4. Little guy is 4 months. Little guy is almost 4. And then me and my wife are going on 8 years of being together here. So very encouraged. We've been able to grow our family in this business and love that we do work with families just like myself, people that are business owners and have young kids and ultimately are looking for some guidance. So the value of advice. Why work with an advisor? What are the benefits? Why not do it yourself? Well, when it comes to professionals, we would never pull our own tooth. We would never do our own surgery. We would never change our brakes if we've never touched a car before. So why do we try and do this with our finances? So the value of advice is that over a 15-year relationship, the average person is going to have 3.9 times more net worth. And because it's what's talked about, it's what's educated on, it's what the whole goal of the meeting is. If you talk about something 15 to 30 times over 15 years, it's a whole lot likely or a whole lot more likely that the goal will happen versus just happening, trying to figure it out or DIY. So when we look at this here, who by a show of hands wants to be 3.9 times more wealthier? Yes, so it is common sense, and that's where I like to bring common sense and education to a financial plan. So this is one slide that every client that I've brought on over the past 5 years has seen, because it's not about what is important to me. It's not about my education. What it comes down to is what's important about money to you. So these are some of those memory joggers. And a lot of the times I have clients that say something off of these here, but being able to have that basis, knowing working with me is my goal is to find out what's important about money to you. So today we want to talk about some of the registered programs that you have to work with a securities licensed advisor to help you obtain. So I do have my securities license. I am remote licensed to be able to work through all of BC, Alberta, Manitoba, and Ontario. So being able to have that realm, but this is going to be specifically for our BC people on some of these grants, and some of them are Canada-wide. So we want to talk about the RESP today. So can everyone see the sheets on the left and the right? I know they're a little bit small to be able to fit them both on the screen there, but the RESP is one of the only times that the government gives you free and clear money for your kids. So with tax time just happening, if we can reverse the roles of you paying the government and have the government pay you, that sounds like a great meeting. So on the left, it shows the growth of you just trying to save into a savings account. And then on the right of that portion, just being able to look at this here. So we're talking about this one, and this one here is the RESP is going to help with that yellow money in the middle. So it is a complimentary $7,200. Part of it is just by filling out paperwork. Part of it is by having your money matched. So I just wanted to go over some of those dollars and where they come from. So the first one that's eligible here is going to be your Canadian Learning Bond. So with that there, it is indeed, if you can see it, it is indeed a $500 grant that's there. And being able to see that it is non-income dependent for that $500. There is an income dependent portion of the extra 50 and the extra 100 that is there, but being able to have that portion or have that optimized is going to be one of the grants that we look at. Secondly, is we're going to have our matching portion that's here, is being able to have this 5-to-1 matching program. So for every $5 you put in, the government match $1, and being able to have that portion. And then the last part, and this is specifically for BC, is that there is something called a BC TESG, and that's where it is a free $1,200, but you have to apply between 6 and 9. So before the 9th birthday, the form has to be submitted here. So with this here, an introduction to anybody that has kids under the age of 9 is going to be an amazing referral. But the question then comes up is, well, what if I have a 10-year-old? What are the benefits then? Is they just wouldn't apply for this $1,200 one, but everything else still applies for them. Okay? And they can apply up to 15 with no litigation, no major paperwork. 16, 17, there's a few other requirements. And then at 18, the money does become matured and there's no future benefit of contributing. They can just use it until they're 35 years old. So with the RESP, we all know people that have kids under the age of 9. This is an amazing introduction. And this can indeed be done from the comfort of their own home, as long as they have two things. There is a parent or a guardian that is able to open up the account, and the child that's being applied for has a SIN number. So those are the only two requirements going forward. The next account, working with a securities license advisor, is an RDSP. So this one here, they sometimes get confused, RDSP, RSP, RESP. So with this one here, this is a registered disability savings plan. And this is where we have the ultimate guide to be able to help you go from introduction to closing your RDSP. And it's all in a written document going forward. So with the RDSP, this is for anybody that qualifies for disability tax credit. So you don't have to be in a wheelchair to get the disability tax credit. I myself personally have a son who has a disability tax credit because he has autism. And this is where he has a hyper accelerated savings program that he gets access to. And this is going to be the way that he buys his first car, he buys his first house, and he is able to have a jump start on retirement. So if we see those portions there, it's anything that affects your active daily living, your ADLs. And typically they want 2 for a guaranteed qualification. 1 is up to the doctor's discretion. So any of these that are on here: vision, speaking, hearing, walking, eliminating, feeding, dressing, mental functions, cumulative effects of significant limitations, and life-sustaining therapy. So the process of getting your disability tax credit is by filling out the form attached below and being able to have your doctor sign off and have you medically qualified 30 days from when your application is put in. Once you have your disability tax credit, you qualify for the benefits that come with that program. So on the right, there is your Canadian Disability Savings Bond. This is a $1,000 bond that's income dependent. And with this here, if it is a child, it does fall into the parents or the person open up the accounts, their tax portions. So you can see here, the threshold for 2021 is right here. And that's where $32,028, they get the full $1,000. 32 to 49,000, it's a prorated basis. Anything over 49,000, there's no bond paid. So the question comes up, well, what if I make a decent income, or what if I'm over that? What are the benefits of this account? Is that there is a matching program here where the threshold is higher, where for every dollar you put in on the first 500, it's matched 300%. Who would love a guaranteed 300% return on their money by a show of hands? Pretty good. Itch loves guarantees. Gotta love those guarantees. And then the next $1,000, it's a 200%. So it's being able to use up those money and fill out the paperwork properly. That's my job. But with this here, basically, if $1,000 were to go in, is you would have that match here. But if you are on the lower income, you can put up to $1,500 per year, and they would match $3,500. So being able to have those matches is what really accelerates. So you're going to have principal. So principal is just your money you put in. You're going to have matching. And then bringing us back to the school days is we're remembering bed math, being able to have our math. And then you're going to have the interest that's on that as well. So you obtain interest on the principal and the matching over the long term. And that's how these accounts are so powerful for education for kids, down payments for kids, and jumpstart for their retirement. And then having the trump card is that these RESPs, RDSPs, and everything else that comes with a financial plan joins in with this financial needs analysis. So I want to say thank you for being able to listen to my presentation here today. Hopefully this struck a chord with yourself personally, someone you care about, someone you love, or someone that's in your family. And that's where they can reach out to me here, phone, email, website, smoke signal. I look forward to meeting them here and doing a complimentary consultation. Thank you very much, BNI Thrive, and I'm open for questions.
I had a quick question, Brandon. On your RESP slide, there was two different, I think, types there. It was like a family one and like a single one. Can you tell us a little bit about the differences between the two?
Most definitely. So on an individual one, that's you have the opportunity of opening up a family or a single, whether you have one child or you have a bunch. But ultimately, the benefits of having a family one is that the money that is invested can be moved fluidly between kids. So in this case here, your first child, you save for 4 years of education. They do a 1-year diploma program. Those 3 years of money that have been accumulated, if it's in a family program, can move fluidly to the next individual. If you do an individual program, that's where that money is segregated to that SIN number and will only be allocated to that person. So very good observation. Does that answer the question though, Ish?
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Awesome.
I have a question. With regards to the RESP, what kinds of institutions do you have to spend that money at? Can it be like what are the limitations maybe?
Yeah, very, very good question. So within group RESPs, there is going to be a very limited list of colleges or places you can go to. With the group or with the individual RESP, as long as they are recognized as a post-secondary institution in Canada or the US, the grant money can be used. Your personal money that puts in, it can be used at any post-secondary education institution in the world. So with that, there, as long as it is a recognized post-secondary institution in North America, the Canadian grant money applies. Very good question. All right, I think we got time for 1 or 2 more questions. Anybody else here? All right. Well, if you have any other questions with these here, ultimately, I feel like Santa when I get to these meetings because it's free grant money. Even though I'm working on my figure, it's great to be able to give education to families and have this grant money show up in their accounts, and just builds a really good relationship with those families and those businesses going forward. So, Greg, I'll send it back to you here and look forward to